Hi, I'm Rishabh Bhauka and welcome back to the Power BI series. In this video, we'll explore the real engine behind clean data in Power BI, and that is Power Query. I'll walk you through why it's used, how to clean and transform data like a pro, and show practical steps using sample electronics dataset. So let's go ahead. So what is Power Query? Power Query is a data connection and transformation tool. You can think of it like a data cleaning room where all the messy data is prepared before it's sent for analysis. Unlike Excel's manual methods, Power Query automates these steps, making it faster and repeatable. All right, so let me tell you one thing before we begin, that Power Query is different from the table view. Many people confuse Power Query with the data table view inside Power BI, but Power Query is for preparing and cleaning data. Once your data is clean, only then it lands in the table view where you can use DAGs, create visuals, etc. All right, so let's begin with the data set. It's the same data that we used in the previous video. That's the electronic data where we have the customer ID, the name, email, phone number, city, first name, last name, gender, etc. And similarly, we have the products data, the sales data, and the inventory data. So yeah, it's pretty much the same. So let's get started with Power BI. Okay, let's open up Power BI. Shows cool animation and blank report. All right, now we import the data. So we'll just click on get data. And then, of course, we are importing it from an Excel workbook. So we'll connect it, we'll navigate, and then we'll just double click. Oh, okay, click and open. And then I am going to select all the tabs. Since, yes, we need all, and we'll click on load. It'll take a couple of seconds, and then we'll have our data. All right, more than a couple of seconds, I guess. All right, so when we go to the table view now, let us just click on it. Yep. So we see the read-only version of Excel, and then of course report view. You're already aware that we build our visuals over here. All right. So for Power Query, we need to click on transform data, and it opens up a fresh new window. So this is the Power Query editor. All right. So in the left-hand side, we see queries. These are basically the tabs of the Excel file. And on the right-hand side, we see the applied steps. Okay. On the above pane, the steps are in terms of a formula, which we call the M language, which is the Power Query language. Let's just come to the sales table. And on the right-hand side, we see the source. So these steps are basically the automatically applied steps by Power BI. So it's navigating that from so and so location, our file has been navigated. So, okay. So first source, now navigation. For navigation, it shows that, okay, from the source file, it's taking up the sheet sales. And then we see every column has the text view, text format right now. And then we see the headers are on the first row. So Power Query has automatically promoted the headers and then change their types. So we see the transaction ID is now text, quantity is now numbers, sales date is now date time format, etc., etc. So these are the steps which Power Query applies automatically. This basically behaves like a data pipeline. So what happens is it does not overlap the data, but what you see is steps applied so that whenever you want, you can go back. You can just hit Control Shift plus to zoom in or Control Shift minus to zoom out. You can set it as per your convenience and comfort. All right. So this is how we apply a filter. And when I apply the filter for UPI, we see that on the right hand side, it added a step called filtered rows. Now, a good practice would be to go on properties and rename the steps, because if you just keep it as filtered rows, then of course, after a lot of steps, it will become confusing. So I can just rename the step, write some description if you want to, and then it'll become easier for you to look back on what the steps were performed. And even if someone else takes up your project, so it'll be an ease for that person as well. So we see, okay, now we have filtered for UPI. Now maybe I can sort it by quantity. So I can just put on sort ascending. And then again, it applied the step, and in the applied steps, we can see that yes, it has sorted the data. So all this is so convenient because whenever you want to go back a step, you can just simply go back and you don't have to be on the Control Z side, which we use normally for Excel. All right. Now, I want to replace the values. For example, I want to change the transactions named payment mode UPI to UPI transaction or any such thing. So I can just click on this, change the values, and then click on OK. Now you see that again, it has added a step and it has changed from UPI to UPI transactions. So all of this just is so easy with Power Query. No formulas to remember, nothing at all. And then we can always go back when we want to delete the step. So we can simply hit on delete and yes, it'll be gone. All right. Now, for example, if I just want to change the date and time format to simply just date format. So here I see date and time. It'll ask me whether I want to replace the current step or I want to add a new step. So for here, I would just click on add a new step. It'll add a new step. And then again, following the good practice to rename your steps, we just rename the step. All right. So we have our data ready. Now, what if I just want to add another column wherein I want to say, I'll just go on add column and I want to add a conditional column. So we click here. And what I want to do is if the transactions are UPI based or any other online mode based, it will say online or else cash. So I put payment mode equals or rather begins with cash. I want to return cash. It's basically like an if function that you use on Excel, but just simpler with less formulas. Click on OK. All right, I have another column here which just tells me if the payment is made in cash or online. Now we have our data ready. We click on home, close and apply, and then it'll take again a couple of seconds and then I will have my data back. And here in the table view, now we see online or cash spends. So this is the magic of Power Query. Now we're going to try some more functions in another data set. So let me just open another Power BI window. I'll just close this. Okay, we are going to learn append and merge. Basically, let's see the data first. So, okay, we just open this data set and we see we have two tabs containing sales for quarter one and quarter two. And what we want to do here is we want to join the data so that we have one table of both the combined sales. And then we have another tab over here, customer region and customer name. Although, okay, yeah, it's a simple data set. So right now, no names, 1, 2, 3, 4, but yeah, all right. So now what we're going to do is we want to combine this data. So we're going to Power BI. Okay, I didn't close the previous one. All right. So we click on again Excel workbook and then we navigate to the data. We open the data. All right. So for now, I'll click on all the three, and now I'll click on transform data instead of load because it'll directly take me to Power Query. All right. So we have our tabs here. Now, to join the data, what we need to do is we need to append queries. So we just go click on append queries, and then we click on append as new. So what it'll do, it'll create a new query. So since we have two tables, we select quarter one and quarter two. We just click on OK, and we'll have a new append one, which has the combined data of quarter one and quarter two. Perfect. For this, you need to remember that all the headers should be same, and the including the uppercase, lowercase thing should be same. All right. So we have here quarter one, quarter two, and combined sales. Now, what we're going to do as a good practice is we will disable the load for quarter one and quarter two because we already have that data in the combined sales. Now, if we do this, it'll just improve the performance, reduce the PBIX file size. We'll just click on load, and all right, here after a couple of seconds again, we'll have the data in the table as combined sales. All right, so this was append queries wherein we join two same tables. But okay, now we also need to integrate the customer name and customer region. So for that, we will use merge queries because it works like a lookup function in Excel. I'm sure you're aware of the XLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, VLOOKUP. So it works somewhat similarly to that. So we'll again go and transform data. Now this time we are going to use merge queries instead of append queries. But wait, let us first clean the data a little bit. Okay, so for the customer region, we see we need to promote the headers. So we will just go over here and then we'll just promote the headers. So the first row will now become the headers. We have it. It's there in the applied steps. Perfect. So now we will go and merge the queries. All right. So the first table that we are going to choose is the combined sales. So I'll just go, yeah, we just need the combined sales data. Now, what's the common link between the two? That's the customer ID. So we'll just hit on customer ID. Okay, let's select the second sheet that we want to merge, and that's the customer region. So again, as I said, both have the customer ID in common. We just select, and then we'll just click on OK. And then we have the merged query. Okay, now we have the data as table here. So now what we are going to do is we could simply going to click here and then remove the customer ID because we already have it in our table, and then just uncheck this box and click on OK, and then we'll see that we have the final table ready for us, which contains the data for quarter one, quarter two, as well as the customer's name and the region. So what we're going to do is disable the load of every other table because we don't need that. We have the final table over here in the name of merge one. Now, so this is just going to make your file faster. Now we'll just rename it final table, and then we'll just hit on close and apply. And then as usual, it'll take a couple of seconds and then we'll have our table. So that's the power of Power Query. And here we have the combined table with all the data. So it's that easy. So that's it for the video on Power Query basics. We explored how Power Query helps clean and transform data, saw how applied steps work, and created a conditional column all without coding. In the next video, we'll look at more such things. If you found this useful, give it a like, share it, and don't forget to subscribe. I am Rishabh Bhauka. See you in the next one. Bye.